Hello. So I just wanted to give a little update. So I'm doing all right. I just had to go and have what we like to call a grippy sock vacation, aka going to the mental hospital. For those who are not aware, I have bipolar, and when I get manic, I'm generally pretty good about managing it, but I can go kind of crazy, psychotic. I just start hearing and seeing things, and things kind of just go downhill from there as long as I'm not able to stabilize it. So, normally I'm doing fine. It's just that something in my personal life came up. That's right, it had nothing to do with the channel. Don't worry about me, feeling like I'm producing too much, or I'm trying to be too close to a schedule or anything. I literally upload on my own whim. It's just that I get really manic, and I start posting a lot, and I start shit posting a lot, and I just, so, don't worry about it. But, so, some people might be asking, well, what was your trip like? You were gone for a week. What were you doing? Well, I was busy being extremely bored. Yeah, it's pretty fucking boring, honestly. There's nothing to do. You don't have any access to any, internet or anything, which is probably a good thing, honestly. But yeah, you don't really have anything to do. I did read some books. I brought some books. And I got some other people to read Kafka, which I think was pretty funny. So I really didn't do much. So most of the time I was just talking to people, learning about them, and I actually became friends with a lot of the people that were there. A lot of the people there were very friendly, and they were just going through a lot. And and also I want to point out that the staff, I could tell, were trying to be, trying their best, but everything was very disorganized. It was pretty obvious that they were having some sort of labor and management issue. A lot of us had various problems that were not addressed, that should have been addressed, various medical issues, especially over the weekend. Over the weekend, it was terrible. I didn't even get my medication until maybe about 2 days, maybe 1 or 2 days after actually being admitted, because the psychiatrist was just not available, which is kind of crazy because I was literally hearing and seeing things. I was kind of anticipating just being drugged the hell up, and that's not really what happened. I was kind of just not having anything, and I was just having to deal with the symptoms for a couple of days. And the thing is, again, I can usually deal with it. It's just that there's been a lot of shit going down in my personal life, and it kind of destabilized me over the course of several weeks. And yeah, that was really frustrating when I realized what happened and put the picture together, and it was just are you fucking kidding me? But pro tip, if you have to go to a mental hospital at any point in your life, I would highly recommend being very friendly to as many people as possible and trying to avoid conflict whenever you can, because you have to understand, you're kind of treated like a prisoner here, even though it's not quite as bad as prison, right? But, you are kind of a prisoner for a short period of time. And, if you cause violence, if you cause conflict, you have the potential of being sent to another part of the building with other people who are potentially violent and aggressive. And it's just going to be a harder ride. When you're nice and friendly to, the staff and to other patients, you're just not going to have as many problems interacting with other people and things like that. And I know that it can be hard sometimes, because sometimes these people really do pick fights with you. I mean, I ended up getting in a small fight with somebody because they were just so hostile, even though I was trying to be friends with everybody. But basically, if you try to be friendly with everybody and you get on everybody's good side, you're not really going to have these kinds of conflicts, and you're going to be able to just get in and out. It's going to be boring, it's going to suck, the medication is going to be kind of frustrating and annoying, but it is what it is. So, it's very boring outside of that, and it was kind of upsetting to see just how, they weren't able to address so many important medical issues and weren't able to, be on top of things. And again, it's very hard for the patients to understand that it's not really necessarily the nurses or doctors' faults, but really because of the mismanagement of the facility and lack of resources and lack of funding, and I could tell that the facility had taken a drop in its management since the last time I had been there. So long story short, it's not like the end of the world. It's not really like a terrible experience, but it is a very boring experience. And I did need it. I did need to stabilize, and I am doing a lot better now. And I am going to resume my normal content. While I was in there, I decided to write down all the projects that I want to work on, and I want to say that I have about 8 to 10 months of material to work with. I just need to spend the time researching it and organizing my thoughts to produce the scripts. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm also looking forward to potentially starting a couple of other additional media projects on the side, such as interviews with different kinds of people, like maybe some different kinds of just interesting people, or people who like have researched certain things in academia or whatever, just having it's almost like a podcast kind of thing, but I'll throw that on Spotify and on a separate channel, and stuff like that, where I'm getting more voices. I really would like to expand how many voices I have on this channel and in this project in general. So thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for keeping with me, and just seeing how life goes. And I will have more material coming up in the next few weeks. And don't forget, I am still going to Youmacon to film that movie on cosplay. And even though Youmacon looks like it's going to be pretty disorganized this year, to say the very least, and to speak extremely generously, I still think that we'll be able to attend and still have plenty of cosplayers to film my movie with, and I'm really excited and looking forward to it. So lots of things to look forward to, and I'll see you later. Take care.